Good evening, everyone. Not much to say to myself. Hopefully, some of y'all come on here. I know this is crazy. Just bored. I know a lot of people were at the prayer-thon. Sitting there eating my stupid frosting. This one probably won't stay up. Hello, Mr. Shane.
How are you?
Just
She's a no-go tonight,
great.
isn't she?
How are you?
Do what?
Yes. Yes. That's all right.
Uh,
Oh, well.
yeah, if I'd have known that, I would have.
And I probably,
Go ahead.
you would what?
Well, I know how to run mics. Me and Mike talked about it. He wants me to start doing them over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be called Captain Fingers Lounge.
Cool. Then I won't have to do this anymore.
And it won't be, like me and Mike do. It'll just be kick back and just BS like we do on yours or Gigi's or. But at least this way I can mute Alan.
There you go. Are we restricted in any way?
No, as long as we don't, as long as I don't get us
'Cause
kicked off. He wants me to do it. He talked to
well,
Tabby
yeah.
about it before we even talked about it. He wanted me to do it. So I don't know if we're going to do it Saturday evening
Wow.
or if I'm going to do it Sunday. So I'm thinking Sunday because Saturdays, we do our show. I can always just go to bed, but afterwards,
Right.
or find, Gigi or something. But it's one of those deals that I can always, just do it on Sunday because we don't do nothing and I get bored on Sundays
Yeah.
since we're not on Sundays and Mondays now. So anyway, yeah, some of that
Yeah.
stuff you was talking about a little bit ago when you was texting me, I don't I don't have a lot of information on that.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, it's rumors, but there's supposed to be a book, and I cannot remember the name of it or the author.
On
It's
Linden?
supposed to talk, yeah, it's supposed to talk a lot about that.
Well, once again, it's probably a lot of speculation. And it's
True.
not like anybody can argue with it since they're dead unless it's somebody that knows about it. And they say, no, that's all BS. Then they're going to go, okay, well, what really happened? Well, now they're in a pickle. So it's easier just to let a
That,
lie go and not put yourself in a pickle.
yeah, I know. The people I used to could talk to about it, I don't even know if they're still alive. But
Well, apparently we got somebody watching.
really,
It says 5 watching. I don't see anybody. I don't know.
mm, say something in chat, y'all.
They're scared to.
They're
Maybe
probably
some
like,
more. They don't want us to know that they're out there.
right? They're probably like, well, let's just see where this conversation's going
There's
before
John
we.
John.
There's John John.
Yeah, we was waiting on
Oh,
Gigi forever. We finally give up on her.
yep.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to do something different. Wait until bedtime to go on. That's a little crazy.
I know.
Time did everybody go to bed last night?
Late.
Well, that's
Well,
obvious. It was
um,
late when I got off there. It was 1 o'clock when I got off there.
yeah, and I think she closed it down at 1:30, but then had me talking to her till, my goodness, it was like almost 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, Gigi, I gotta go to bed.
Wow.
Yeah, John John said it was after 1. So.
Well, I knew it had to been after 1. So like I said, it was just before 1 when I went to bed, probably 3 or 4 minutes before 1.
I know.
It's the latest I
I'm
stayed up
surprised.
quite a while. Yeah, that's the latest I stayed up since October 3rd.
Yes,
Yep.
I know. Even for your party, you didn't. Yours and Gigi's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't hang around on real long then. Well, I was tired.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a lot of fun.
It was. But I don't have a lot of people following me, but I have some good ones.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing.
You hear that, Sandra? Yeah. I'm not trying to get big or make money, or it's just talking to people.
Yeah, it gets kind of boring after a while not talking to nobody.
Yes.
Especially, it used to not bug me, but ever since I got on with Mike, started out with him, it's been a little different. Get to where you like talking to people.
Yeah. John John, it's okay. We understand if you're going to bed. I know I was surprised I was awake for the uh, outdoor show.
Oh yeah, I watched that this morning.
I asked John John, you sore? you get your rocking chair back? He said, no, I gave it to the neighbor.
Yeah, I watched
I
it
don't
for
know
a
if you
while.
were there then.
Nah, probably not.
John was saying he just threw his rocking chair out the door, and I don't know. We're talking about being old and head banging. Maybe that was on Ken's. I can't remember where he said it.
Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, Gigi
John
was.
John did John John did you talk to Ken to see if if he broke his neck? Yeah.
It was on Ken's show.
Yeah, that show this morning with Mike was pretty good. I watched
Yeah.
about halfway through the ice fishing.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, it was about halfway through that video they was watching, and I got a phone call or something, and I just never went back. So,
I keep sharing it on Facebook and trying to get more people over there because I know they would enjoy it if they ever just went and watched it.
oh yeah,
It's pretty interesting to me. And it's about anything outdoors, not just fishing and hunting.
yeah,
Yeah. See, and John, he's like me, you. I don't know if you've ever been ice fishing, but
oh yeah,
well, that's
yeah,
not something I've ever done.
yeah. I've been there. Lived up in Iowa.
Yeah,
Lived
we'd
right
have
on the Mississippi.
to. Okay. You live there?
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah, we drove the car right up on the ice, right where we was. We got out of the car, opened the trunk, pulled out the drill,
No,
and fired it up, drilled the hole, and fished.
no. See, that's what we were talking about, the ice cracking. And watching that video and that guy drilling a hole, I'm thinking, now wouldn't that make it crack?
Oh no, oh no, no. That stuff we was on,
Huh.
even on the Mississippi River, you'd think being a river it wouldn't be very thick, but hell, that shit'll get a foot and a half thick. You get anything
Well,
over
that's
8 inches thick, and it's strong as glass. Really, like
yeah.
bulletproof glass.
In February when we had that freak thing, the river here was frozen over, and it's a flowing river.
Oh yeah, I watched. Get this, there was when I lived up in Iowa, it would get so cold there that uh, the river went. And they built a road and they had to cross it, so they just put a culvert, and this water was running downhill. Well, it
Hmm.
made a waterfall coming out of the culvert. In the winter, that waterfall would freeze solid.
Oh my gosh.
Water all the way down to the other water. It would freeze solid. You wouldn't think it'd do that, but it would.
My cousin in Alaska, she said if you take a glass of water when it's like 30, 40 below
Uh huh.
and you throw it and it freezes right there
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
in
almost
the air.
instantly. Yep.
Yes. And I was like, man,
Yeah, it's a
or
little
maybe,
chilly.
yeah, I just can't imagine. I get cold here.
What I liked about up there, though, when it gets cold, it's a different kind of cold. It was, say, here in Oklahoma, when it gets, 0, the wind is what gets you here. But
Yeah,
up there wasn't that kind of wind. Bonnie, John asked you a question.
'Did y'all get rain. Yes, we did. I don't know how much, but we were supposed to get some pretty good storms. I heard the thunder like crazy, but oh, it's still raining there. I haven't looked outside. I don't think it's raining.
Yeah, it's not
But
raining
yeah,
here.
it's 45 here right now, John. Yeah, I kept watching the temperature drop today, and I'm like, quit
It says
blowing those
it's
cold
17
plates
degrees
down here.
here. Do what, Bonnie?
15,
17, yeah.
17. Goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't know Oklahoma got that cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Up there in the Panhandle, it does. Now, you get in the southeast Oklahoma, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it snows in North Texas
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
pretty regular.
Yeah. From here all the way down, damn near to Lubbock, you're going to get pretty good snow.
Huh.
You get south of Lubbock, and you won't get pretty much anything except that one freak one in March.
Yeah, that's good, John. John,
But
I
anyway,
talked to a business from Louisiana today. Hollywood Jewelry. Laura went to Louisiana in uh, April, and she put a down payment on a ring, and she never could get a hold of those people. She emailed them, she's tried calling them. Today I just called the number and the guy answered, and I was like, here you go, Laura, talk to him.
John, I remember seeing one of them, but I didn't catch a lot of them. Wish I'd have seen them now. I'll have to go back and watch.
Right?
I normally do anyway, so that'll give me something to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I just can't grasp that one. They are in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I don't know much about seeing aliens. I've always last time I seen aliens, well, hell, some was up here from Mexico not too long ago, but that was about the last time I seen some aliens.
Yeah. Well, I really believe that Roswell, New Mexico thing, I don't know. It just seems too likely. Okay, John, thank you.
Yeah, Roswell thing. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many stories back and forth and spins on the story. You never can tell.
Yep.
But it's fun speculating at times. every once in a while you got to go through there and speculate a little bit to, you know, spark the attention, get people talking about it. It's the only way you're going to learn anything new.
That's true. Yeah, I was reading a lot of the comments. Well, I was commenting a lot more because Mike was
Yeah,
asking questions, so I was
yeah.
answering.
Just John, yeah. Tracy, she's usually pretty good, and she's seen you in there enough now. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And they've seen you on other channels too, so they know you're not a bad person. So I know they
John,
check out
did,
Liberty Warrior and all that on the hunting and fishing.
yeah. What's not to like? You're a good guy, John. Did you hear Shane say about the show?
Do what now?
I was asking John if he heard you talking about doing a show.
No, probably not. I don't know. He might have. Hey, Victor.
Hey, Victor, how are you?
No, John, we're me and Mike. I'm going to start doing a show through his channel. It's going to be called Captain Fingers Lounge. Uh, I'm probably going to do it on Sunday evenings, where everybody can just kick back, relax, and visit and BS, kind of like we do here at GG's. Where someone brings up a topic, great. If not, fine. It's just something that there's people like me, that get bored on Sunday evening with us not doing a show now. So just people, we thought about doing it Saturday night, because I know Saturday night there's a lot of people that don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Hello, Bryson.
Hi, Bryson. Yeah, I know. When the girls get in from work, they just want to sit in front of the TV, and so I can't talk to them because they're into the TV.
Right. They've had all the discussions they want all day long.
Yeah, and you can only say so much to a 3-year-old.
Well, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, if we'd have known Gigi was going to drag her feet or poke herself in the eye or whatever she did, hell, we could have done it, started this a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike was really trying to talk me into going on and doing my show tonight, so he'd have something to do. I told him no, because Gigi already said she was going to go on, so he went ahead and just started watching the movie with his son. So.
Oh, well, that's good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, John, I hope a bunch of people show up and come to watch. Like I said, we'll probably get quite a few just due to the it being Liberty Warrior, because people's got all that. Every time it comes on, everybody gets their notice.
Yep.
So last time I did it, it was called
The Afterglow.
Shane Uncensored. And Afterglow was one of them. Yeah, I guess I've done two.
Yeah.
We did pretty good. We did, I don't know, 12, 1,400 each time. So there's pretty good shows.
I don't think I saw the Uncensored.
It was called Unfiltered. That was the first one I did was Unfiltered. That's before I knew you, Bonnie.
Oh, okay. John, I was thinking about that too. If you jump up, you can put it in private chat.
Yeah, there you go. I can put mine in there too.
Well,
Unless you're like Gigi, you can jump up and she'll just leave you in the background, leave you in the waiting room.
I've done that a couple of times.
Well, I know I had to send you a text.
Well, when it's behind those little boxes, poor D-Dog, I don't know how long he was waiting that one night. I said, oops.
Ain't no telling.
Because when you
He
get
said,
the row across, then it
right.
starts on the bottom.
Yeah, he says he will tomorrow. So,
Oh, okay.
so
Well,
I may be up.
supposedly, no, you're going to be on. I was going to say, supposedly, Gigi's going to be on tomorrow, but nope, not if you are.
Why's that?
Because we're going to be over there with you.
Oh, oh. Well, that's why I told Mike, if Gigi was already coming on, I didn't want to take anybody from hers. And she was already said she was going to be on. So,
Nah, we'll be happy to join you. It's
no, give me,
always,
go ahead.
she knows weekends I'm babysitting. And so I'm always asking her, you or me tonight? Let me know. And then, like, I think it was during Liberty Warrior is when she started talking to me finally. And I was all, because I like to set it up early so that everyone knows.
Right.
And then I don't have to worry about setting it up later. And
No, I fully understand that.
And then she gave me a time that she was going on, 11-ish. And I know she was talking her time, and that's long past.
Right.
So I thought, I'll just open it up in case anybody wants to chat.
Yeah, I can for a little bit longer, and then I think I'm going to twist off at, I don't know, in the next 20 minutes or so. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll advertise the lounge here this week. I may do it tomorrow too. So, well, like I said, I'll be on tomorrow, but I mean, I'll advertise the lounge.
Cool. I bet Jeff B will come over there too sometimes.
That's what Mike said.
They take a lot of small channels down.
Well, they may, yeah, if they're breaking their, depending on their guidelines, I don't know if their guidelines are going to be too terribly awful, but just depends. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any notices. Or is there a lot of changes, or we don't know?
Well, they put something out and they had some in, but I haven't read it.
Hmm.
But they'll put it out again once it's finalized because I'm sure they're still working on it. But I don't see them just going after anybody because YouTube likes their money too, and they can't make any money if there's no one on.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, I will. I may do that in the morning.
So where's that? Did you get an email or is it
Yeah,
on
I got an
YouTube?
email a while back, and I think I got that email. Mike sent it over to me.
Oh, okay.
John,
Hmm.
I have a feeling if they do like the rumors I'm hearing, they're gonna shoot themselves in the books. Everybody will leave, and then they'll calm down a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. I hope.
Small show without good content. Well, that's me. I
Yeah,
don't
because then,
talk a lot.
well, that's just yeah. I guess that makes sense. They can't make no money off of you, so why have you?
Right?
You know, that's pretty chicken shit, if you ask me. I mean, it's what they call a blend. You got to have the small ones that don't make any money, the big ones that do, because that way you got more content out there, and content's what they need. It doesn't have to be
Right.
great big channels,
Because not everybody wants to watch the same thing.
right? And how do you think little channels get big? So they have to start small. They don't start with 1,000 people. I don't know if they're going to have a guideline that says you got 6 months to have 1,000 people or something. I don't know.
Mm, I'll never meet that.
I have a feeling you're going to have a bunch of little stations joining forces.
That could be too.
You'd think, being Democratic, they don't want that. They don't like people talking. So
No. Um, wasn't Cam on Liberty Warrior? Didn't he get up there one time?
yes, he
Cam?
did. Yes,
I thought he did. And so I subscribed to him and he put out a video. He's had the crud for at least a week now. And he don't have a whole lot of followers either, but
yeah, he used to do like a pod. He did a pod beam. He did more like radio. He didn't do the YouTube stuff. So that's why when he went to get on us, he had such a hard time. He wasn't used to it.
oh, okay.
We
Thank
broke
you,
him in,
John
and then he
John.
went over to BB's and Sage and several of them. So
Yeah. I didn't recognize any of the names in chat when I was watching that video. He
right.
went live and there wasn't nothing else on, so I was just watching him and the stuff he was talking about, I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna go there. I'll listen.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to jump off here. I got a phone call I got to take. So
All
Bonnie,
right.
we'll see you tomorrow.
You take care, Shane.
All right. Talk to you later. See you, John, and everybody.
Night. Now I'm up here all alone. Nothing changes. Nope, nothing changes. They just keep taking it apart piece by piece. Yeah, I see you, John John. No. Yeah. It's all us single people that get bored. It's Saturday night. Yippee. I agree, Victor. I've definitely lost hope in votes or anything to do with that. I'm beginning to think it isn't even going to matter. It's already all planned and set up. Yep, it does. Just causes division. I did hear somebody say something about a constitutional party. That sounded kind of interesting. Rain stopped. So, what is Christmas to y'all? Hello, Perska. Exactly, Victor. Live life to the fullest till it's our time. Perska, where are you from? I haven't seen your name before, hon. Poland. Awesome. Being with family. Yep. It's funny. I was writing a poem today, and didn't matter that everybody says the date is wrong. That is the date we have chosen to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And to me, that's what it's all about. The commercialism, it all just needs to go. People stressing over spending too much money on everybody, and that's not what it is. So Perska, how is it over in Poland? Just a day. True, Victor. Yep. And the lights are pretty. Cold and snowing. I'm sorry. No. A lot of people here are getting that too. I'm way down south, so it's not snowing here. It's okay, John John. Definitely. Christmas is love. That's the way I feel. And it's helping out your neighbor. If you know somebody's alone, cook them a dish or make them some cookies and take them over to them just to try and brighten their day. Donate some canned foods or, hey, D-Dog, it's good to see you. Perska, do y'all celebrate Christmas in Poland? It seems like it's worldwide. It's, I mean, even, well, I don't know if they call a truce at Christmas in every war, but they have in some wars. Night, John John. Put the link if you want to come chat, D-Dog. Please. Yes, you do. Awesome. Is there any traditions that you do that are special? Oh, Catholic. Yes. Okay. So you do the whole midnight mass and all of that. My first husband was Catholic, and so we did that. Midnight mass was pretty neat. Okay, D-Dog. It's okay. We were just bored, and so I opened up for a little while just to talk about whatever. You have me in your left ear. Okay. First, good. Do y'all decorate with lights and stuff too? I've never met anybody from Poland, so sorry if I'm asking too many questions. It's cool to me. I have some friends from Sweden, and they celebrate a lot like we do. They used to come here every Christmas because it was warmer. Bryson, I can't remember what that means. My daughter used to use that all the time. Oh, okay. Similar. Yep. Yeah. You see that, Bryson? It's like a yeah, I've been seeing a lot of the other channels driving around looking at the lights in their towns or cities. Hopefully things will calm down this week for Christmas. All the turmoil. Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being Catholic, Victor. Is there? I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I taught CDC class and I was pretty involved. My 4 oldest children were baptized Catholic. Yeah, you get along great. That's awesome. Wish I would have found that one. Just didn't work out that way for me. I'm a fixer. If somebody has a problem, I think I can fix it. And it took me a long time to realize that that's their choice, not mine. They have to fix themselves. Yes, it is awesome, Victor. Hey, Shep. How are you doing? I'm just talking with chat. Shane was up here, but he went to bed. I'm in D-Dog's left ear. He's on a Zoom. If you want to come up, you can. We're just talking about Christmas, and we have a new visitor from Poland, and thank you, Pesca. Perska. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I hope I am. Perska, you're welcome to come up too if you'd like. I just put the link. We'd love to hear you talk. Oh, you're in work right now. Oh, okay. That's good, Victor. Respect goes a long way. It's okay. I knew what you meant. As long as you respect her, also. I think that's a mutual thing that needs to. Oh, oh, sorry, Shep. I
Hey
was
there. No
reading
problem.
that.
I don't know if you can hear my dishwasher in the background.
No, not at all. You can
Okay.
probably hear my washing machine. Us late night people doing dishes and laundry.
Yeah, oh, there it goes. I'm sure you can hear that. I'm going to mute while it does that thing.
Oh, it's okay.
So it hasn't stopped raining here for days, and now it might snow overnight.
Oh, goodness.
And then it might snow like starting at Christmas Eve,
Hmm.
like for 7 days straight or something.
Oh, my gosh. I just can't
We're not
imagine.
used to
Well,
that.
we're not either. We would close down. It would completely shut us down.
Hmm. Same here for sure. Maybe that's what they're trying to do to us.
Maybe it's the plan.
Are you having your family for Christmas at your place?
Um, Actually, no. Um, they were all here for Thanksgiving, and um, so because some of them are married, then they swap off every year. Like we get one
Hmm.
holiday, and the spouse
How many
family.
people are in your family that you'll celebrate
Well,
with?
I have 6 children and
Mm.
7 grandchildren,
Oh my goodness,
but
that's a big bunch.
yes, it is. And so, since my mother has been in and out of the hospital so much, we decided to take dinner to her. And so we're going to go there, and um, it'll probably be just us, me and my 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters. And then um, one of my sons and his wife and kids, they will come Christmas Eve.
Well, that'll
But
be
the other,
fun. So
yeah.
when I came into the chat, it
Mm-hmm.
was at the end of a conversation, so I don't want to assume anything, but it was about Catholicism. So,
Yeah.
are you a practicing Catholic?
Not anymore. No.
Okay. So you were though? You were raised that way, or?
Um, well, growing up, uh, my family didn't go to church, but my best friend that lived next door to my grandmother, she was Catholic, went to the Catholic school and everything. And so I would go to church with her when I could.
Are you sure you weren't my neighbor? Because that was me. I was the Catholic girl. I went to Catholic school.
Is your real name Tracy?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, my real name's Tracy. Is
Oh
that
my
your friend's
goodness.
name? Is that your neighbor's name?
Yes.
Well, I was raised in San Francisco.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
tell me you're from there.
I lived in San Francisco from 1 to 5, age
Oh,
1 to 5.
oh my goodness.
That's where my brother was born. And but my first husband was Catholic, and so uh, I took the instructions and
You
my
actually lived in San Francisco.
yes,
That is hilarious. That is what a small world.
yes, my brother still lives north of San Francisco.
What city?
Petaluma.
Oh my goodness, one of my best friends lives up there. Wow.
Small world.
It sure is, Bonnie. I
Yes,
can't
and we
remember
have
any friends named Bonnie, though. So. Or any parents with kids named Bonnie.
we have a young lady, I think, from Poland who is in the chat visiting, and she's Catholic, and Victor's wife is Catholic, and so
I see.
that's how we got on that conversation. But question
I
how to
see.
check this channel.
Yeah. I was raised Catholic in the 1960s in San Francisco.
Okay.
And then my parents moved over to the East Bay.
Hey,
And
Lisa.
that's when I started going to public school, was when I was in 7th grade. And I had to go to, I don't even know what they called it. It was like Catholic lessons so that I could be confirmed.
Yes.
Because that was something that you didn't do until 8th grade, I think.
Yeah.
And so I left, so
Confirmation.
I was going to public school, but then I would still go over for some sort of lessons to be confirmed.
Yep. And see,
then-
because I married into it, I had to go through that.
Oh, yeah. All the rituals, my goodness.
Yes.
And then after that, I stopped practicing and I have not looked back. But I didn't have a reason for stopping, just stopped.
Well, I have a reason. I was taking instructions with the pastor, priest, excuse me, and for a year, and did every single thing except for the baptism. And then he was transferred to another church, and a new priest came, and he said, I know you've already done all this, but I do it different, so you're going to start all over. And I said, no, I'm not.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So
my mom converted to Catholicism when she was going to marry my dad. So my dad was raised Catholic, so that's sort of the family history there. Went from my dad's side, I guess.
Yeah, that was my mother-in-law and her parents. Well, and father-in-law. They were all very strong Catholics. And so my husband's grandparents, they were just the most awesome people. German. Just sweet as could be. And I spent a lot of time over there. They were my sponsors when I was going through that.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Sponsorship and all that stuff.
Yes. And that's so my children being baptized Catholic, they have sponsors. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, my son, we called them godparents.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I don't think that the church called them godparents, but that's the way I saw it. Was as
Ours did at the time. Well, for you, I don't know, but when my son was a baby when he was baptized, though.
Yes.
And now he's an atheist, so go figure.
Oh, I know. I raised.
My father always would make me laugh. Okay, so my dad was an alcoholic, He died at a very young age. But when I was a kid, he wouldn't go into the church, and we would laugh. He would make me laugh because he would say things like, he'd go in there and he'd have a cold sweat. They're going to strike me down. I have so many sins. And he'd go in there and, oh, hey, D-Dog. And he'd say, they're going to strike me down. I can't sit in there. And, you know, it was so funny. There were times like he would go on Christmas or Easter, right? The days you had to go, right? And he would have to leave because he'd break out in a cold sweat.
Oh,
God, my poor dad. I think
So
he
you
was
probably went
traumatized
to-
as a kid, is the problem.
yeah. You probably went to a big cathedral then
No,
in San Francisco.
no, I didn't.
No.
I went to a small
Ours,
St. Peter's church. Small.
yeah, ours was very small, but drinking wasn't an issue there. If anything was going on, there was a keg of beer.
Oh yeah, the alcohol flowed very freely in the
Yes.
church and all around the church and all the families in the parish. Yeah.
So you guys talking about churchy stuff or Christmas stuff or yes?
Both.
No.
Yeah.
Mhm. It started out with
Yeah.
Christmas.
Well, and because two of them in the chat were, well, one's Catholic and one's married to a Catholic, and so I said, oh, then you do the midnight mass, because that was always, I had to be there for midnight mass. And
I remember one midnight mass in particular. I think it was in 5th grade, and I was in some sort of choir where we were singing during the midnight mass, and a transvestite, or is that what they are? Just a cross-dresser, not transgender. Yes, a transvestite stole a body out of the mortuary next door and ran through the service with this
no
body.
way.
How creepy. I'll never forget it.
I hope they were
Oh, my
dancing.
What do you mean dancing? Body, a dead one, you know.
Yes, so.
Oh, God.
That had to be traumatizing.
It was.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
gross.
Wow.
It came in, the person came in through the side door and ran through the front, like in front of the altar, and then out down the side. And I just remember, like, I don't know if it was a priest, it must have been, or maybe, yeah, running after them. Someone in black. Must have been a priest or a nun.
Wow. The only choir I ever sang in was in school, and they put me on, it was like bleacher type steps. And it was so hot because we were so crammed on there, and I passed out.
Oh my God.
Shouldn't have been on the top.
Oh no. Oh no. Did you fall into the kids? Did you fall into the people that you were standing in front of or in back of?
I don't know. I just, when I opened my eyes, everybody was like standing over me. Ah. I said,
What's new, D-Dog?
Not much, just seeing how many elected officials I can piss off for Christmas.
Is the count getting
Awesome.
high? I hope.
Yeah. Last week we sent out 17,000 different affidavits to elected officials.
That is great.
How many is that? Like all in Michigan or
No, this is nationwide. We
nationwide?
share the hate.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
good. Wow.
So we'll take it to the next step, and things will get crazy next year. But the most memorable Christmas I ever had, I was in kindergarten, and I was home with chicken pox. And you know, when one kid in the neighborhood gets chicken pox, it's a play day at their house.
You have a party to get everybody. Yes.
Right. Well, that's the way you take care of stuff like that.
Yes.
So, and this was in 72. And my family went to go see my mom's family over in Switzerland for Christmas. And when I got on the plane was my first day that I was done with all the symptoms of chickenpox. And I got to see the place where my mom was born and where she grew up. It was a little farm in Switzerland. And Danta Oli was always mad at my mom and Danta Oli is my mom's older sister. She was always mad because I'd get in the chicken coop and I wouldn't relatch the door and the chickens would get out. But, you know, I'm a kid. I'm 6 years old. What the hell?
Right.
And I got to meet Unkla Otto, and I got to cut the heads off of some chickens and snap the necks on some chickens, and that's really cool for a kindergartner. And I learned how to skin rabbits.
Wow.
But the coolest thing, Christmas Eve night, everyone is sitting around the Christmas tree talking. I don't understand it because I don't speak Crotonese. And the Christmas tree had all handmade ornaments, and we threaded popcorn for garland on the tree. And I got to clip on some of the candles that we lit on the tree. And all of a sudden, someone pounded at the door. And it was one of their neighbors came over and gave gifts to the whole family. And Uncle Otto was over at their house giving them gifts. And that's the time that I knew there is a true Santa Claus.
Yep.
That's a great story.
Yes. That's the way it should be to me. Love you too. Good night.
Your new mattress.
Good. Your pillows?
I think I was only about 4 years old, and I remember not having a new Christmas dress. So I was real little, 4 years old, I think. And my mother, I was going to wear the one that I had worn the previous year, but it was going to be really tight. And my mother said, well, we can't afford another dress. So then it was Christmas Eve when we were going to go over to my grandma's for the party. And my mom said something about, well, you better go get dressed now. So I go into my bedroom. The window is open, and there's a brand new, beautiful, beautiful dress there with the slip and the shoes and the socks. Everything was so perfect. And I came running out, Mom, I have a new dress. And she comes running in. She's, oh, Santa must have dropped it off and must have heard that because the window was open. Oh, I'll never forget that. My mom.
That is so great.
Yeah, she really played that Santa Claus roll up with me.
So was there cookie crumbs all over your dress?
No, but there
Then how
was
do you know it was
maybe on
Santa?
the windowsill. She was a trickster. I miss my mom.
Yeah.
My daughter asked her for her first computer, right? She asked my mom for an Apple, for a Macintosh, So my mom gave her a Macintosh Apple, a
Mhm.
real. My mom's like, you said you wanted a Macintosh Apple. You should have seen the look on my daughter's face. Of course, I capture it with camera.
Yes.
Fun times.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember the old Commodore 64.
Oh yeah.
I went and I bought that thing when I was working on a farm milking cows. I think I was like, I don't know, 12 to 14, somewhere in there.
God dang, Commodore 64.
Yep, and I even paid out the extra money for the tape drive.
Wow.
Dial-up
I think
internet
our
where you have
first
to take
computer was an
your
Apple.
headset and put it right into that dual suction cup thing. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we had one of those little small screen Apples, if I remember right. In like 96, probably. It was our first one.
Yeah. It's really weird. I've been trying to remember Christmas as a child, and I don't remember any Christmases. I can remember making stuff for my mother and stepfather. I made him a tie rack, went out in the garage and found wood, and always liked making things. Still to this day, I'm still making things. And
So, do you have more than your brother? Kids? Siblings?
No.
Just your brother?
My mother and father divorced when I was a year old, and him and his wife had a daughter, so I have a half sister, and my brother is my half brother, but we're close. My sister, we used to be close, but I don't know what happened. She, I'm not rich enough, I guess.
Yeah, shit happens, People change.
Yes. But even being a single mother, I made sure that my kids knew the meaning. We'd bake. Oh my goodness. I would start around Thanksgiving baking, and everybody we knew got a goodie bag. And even when the kids grew up, that they still expect their goodie bags. This year they didn't get one.
It was up until, let's see, I don't know. See, my daughter's 24 now, so maybe she was 22. She would say, Ian got stockings up until he was 23. That kind of stuff. I'm laying that guilt trip on me. I'd say I don't feel like getting packed and going on a trip with you right now. No guilt trips. Thank you very much.
Children
This
are kind
year
of the
I feel
masters
so
of
liberated. I don't even
manipulation.
have a tree. And I said to my daughter, "Oh, I feel so liberated not having a tree. I just have the garland on the buffet and on the fireplace mantle with the lights and it looks so pretty and it's so manageable and it just feels great. And she says, I love looking at my tree. And I said, well, I'm so happy for you. I love looking at my garland.
Yep.
You know, I don't have any grandkids. We're not having any company. I love what I did.
Yeah.
It's enough.
But we haven't put a tree up. I don't know if we're going to, since we're going to be at my mom's. And so she's been getting all flustered. Got to have a tree. Got to do this and that. And I said, Mama, no.
Mhm.
That's why we're bringing dinner to you so you don't have to do anything.
Mhm.
And I said, no presents, because they have, oh my goodness, like, I know that they would get around 50 presents because they made
What?
sure every child, every grandchild, every great grandchild had a present.
Oh my
And I told
goodness,
her,
that's a lot.
that is just, it is. It's just too much. Stop. And so hopefully this year that it's gotten through their head. But my stepdad, he's been really pushing the Christmas shopping, so I don't know. He's got dementia, and so mom just does whatever he wants. They just bought a brand new Dodge Ram, huge, in their 80s, and I'm like, why?
It's sort of snowing here right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So do you like a white Christmas?
No, not really.
No.
It's slushy.
I know
I'll say it's very slushy right now. I'm over by the
okay.
window, so that's why you can't hear me very well, maybe.
That's kind of the way it gets here too, slushy.
Wow.
So are you in San Francisco now?
Am I what?
Are you in San Francisco now?
Oh no, I live up in Washington State.
Oh,
Really
okay.
close to Oregon, though. Next, about 30 minutes north of Portland, Oregon. And
I was
when you
gonna say,
said Christmas shopping, it reminded me that today, the black conservative preacher, he's a streamer down in Portland, and today he was at the Clackamas Town Mall. They were having a
oh,
naked face club meeting at the mall. So there were a lot of people there shopping and seeing how many stores they could go into without wearing their face diapers. Because Oregon
oh,
has this, and Washington too, has the mandate very strictly in place. So they found out that
yeah.
See's would not sell to them, See's candy, and H&M would not sell to them. But Buckle,
Wow.
they loved them all to come in, and so did REI. All of them were in there. It was like a flash mob of people. And so now we know not to go to See's anymore. I won't shop there.
Well, you could always go after
No.
them for violating
Yeah.
your Title II civil rights.
That's right. Someone had said that when he was talking to Quincy.
I love that guy. Every time he streams, I try to watch him.
Yeah, he's great. I like Quincy. And the crazy lady was there, the one with the red hair. She was holding up her sign. She doesn't speak. And she wants everybody to realize that these folks are, realize that if these folks would put on masks, they would make our community much safer. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, with you around, I guess it would be. If I was wearing a mask, it would be safer around you. Crazy. She's crazy. Quincy calls her my wife's
Yeah.
best friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she used to have pink hair, didn't she?
She
Wow.
had red hair today, yeah.
Yeah.
And Antifa was following him around, taking
Cool. They have a
pictures of
fan
him.
club.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that'd be quite a mess if Antifa would show up in my town. The sheriffs and all the
Yeah,
police would
here
go
too.
somewhere to have coffee, and then they'd send out DPW with a front end loader and a dump truck to get rid of all the problems.
Yep.
Oh, I
There
wish
was
they would
gonna
do
be
something
a
about it here.
this this girl was gonna do a protest for, it may have been Pride Week, something last year. I don't know. And boy, they shut her down quick. I was like, Well, they were doing one in the next town up. She could have gone up there to it.
I was hearing someone
Yeah.
say today that he believes that less than 5% of the population would be mad or be upset if DJT were back in office as a scenario. He thinks that people would not riot and people wouldn't they wouldn't care. And I disagree completely. I think they would riot. I think there would be in civil unrest just because nothing's changed when it comes to him and the way they feel about him. At least to
I don't
California
know.
and Washington and Oregon, the crazy states. I mean, anybody
7
except Harris, they're gonna riot. I
No,
would
Wow.
imagine.
I don't think it'll be like that. I just think that if T was back, which, I don't give a crap who's there because they don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Um, the riots would escalate because the Democrats and the money to be would start pumping money back into Antifa and BLM to get them all fired up again.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
But
what I
the
believe
the
too.
riots really haven't stopped. It's just they stopped getting reported. I still see streams of riots all over US every single day.
Wow, I haven't seen any at all.
Well, you
Wow,
got
I
to get
must
off
not
this
be looking in the
platform.
right places.
Yeah, you have to get off this platform, and
I
it's
go on
actually on different
Twitch.
news feeds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It never
I'm pretty
gets
limited. I go to Twitch and Rumble and BitChute, but those aren't live. So,
right.
That's great,
and there's
Victor.
DLive, but I don't like DLive.
Well, that's what John was just talking about earlier. The new regulations with YouTube. From the way it sounds, I'll be gone. He said they're going to take down all the small channels, and I said, well, that would be mine
What
that don't have
are
much
they doing?
content.
So if they're going to be doing stuff, I'm not even
They're
going to bother to upload anything on here. Why bother? I'll
they're
just
doing
put
a
it. I
bunch
have
of
a
changes.
Gab
That's what
channel. I can
John
put
said.
it there. I have a
He said he was
a,
gonna. He said he was gonna wait and see what the changes were before he started his.
mhm.
And then Shane was saying that he's gonna start. I think he's gonna start tomorrow night. doing a lounge through Liberty Warrior, just just chat, and I said, "Are we going to be regulated?" And he said, "Not really, just like we've been doing." And I said, "Okay." Sounds good
I
to
was
me.
actually
And I,
thinking about doing an offline kind of meeting, kind of learning session about everything going on. But I can't do any of that until something changes in the government and that people are made aware of what the hell's really going on.
yeah,
Because they're still asleep. You should have seen all the sheeples at the mall with their little masks or their diapers on. It is just. So that's what I was thinking about doing, either here in my home or online, doing something along those lines. One person at a time, I guess.
yeah.
Because I mean, we can't. I mean, I don't know about why. I don't. Washington State is. I don't get any Washington news. Basically, I get all Oregon news, and so
Hmm.
the information that people receive from Tacoma and Olympia and Seattle is completely different than what I see. And so I really don't know what's going on in Washington. I only watch one guy. His name, I think his first name's Sean. Well, I watch Dex and Marfugel News. I watch him. He's in Seattle. And then I watch
Yeah.
Summit Properties. He's a realtor, but he does blogs and he talks about Seattle, what's going on up there. That's about it. I'm very limited. And I do not watch local news at all.
Yeah, I don't want me either. That's tonight I was searching
I
around
might as well watch Double
because
Dogs
I heard,
News in Michigan because it'll be the same script.
And you can just thank the Vanguard group for that one.
I know.
yeah, I was searching around because I heard that uh, uh, that Mr. T spoke like in the last day or two or something,
Oh, yeah.
and
He's
but I
doing some
couldn't
sort
find
of
it anywhere.
history tour with Bill O'Reilly. I don't know.
I don't know either. I couldn't find it anywhere because there was a couple of things he said that I wanted to listen to see if he really said it.
Did you see any of it,
No, I couldn't find it
D-Dog?
anywhere. I went to,
Did you find any of it, D-Dog?
Nope, I don't pay too much attention to stuff that doesn't change the way I live.
Yeah.
that's a good philosophy.
Yep, it's a good point.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how many people believe that, hey, if T gets back in office, then that's going to fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're so
No.
wrong.
Mm-mm.
Yes. And well, that's kind of what this conversation was about, that people are turning against him because of the things he's saying. And I was like,
But even if
Yeah.
he's just a figurehead. I mean,
yes. And that's somebody I heard was even saying that he seemed to be leaning more towards the left now. And I was like,
Oh my God, he's a billionaire. What do you think he
Uh,
is?
wouldn't surprise me. Mm,
No.
I still, I keep saying it all needs to be abolished and start over. We just cannot continue like it is. There's too many people up there, and they're just sitting there for the money.
Well, if our country is truly based on we the people, then we the people better stop sitting on our asses and, do something that's going to make a change. And
Mm-hmm.
D-Dog is the only way that I've seen that's going to make any kind of change locally in any kind of jurisdiction. I think you can apply the process anywhere in the United States. Just have to look at the individual states' constitutions to make the adjustments.
Yeah.
But as far as Washington, there's nothing we're going to do about changing the federal government, the DC swamp. We can make the changes on the local level, but I don't see any way of making changes on the higher levels at this point.
Hey, Shep, check out chat.
Let's see, there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do we do that though? I mean, really, today? Yes, I agree, but how is that done?
It's our law. All we have to do is learn how to use it.
Right. Yes, we need to learn how to use it. That's right. Did they ever teach us that in school? Ever? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It was
But,
like, these are the three branches of government, and you elect these people who are in this career, is always what I'm, you know what I mean? And if you want to have this career, then this is what you would do for that. Oh, I'm being too loud. My husband just slammed the door.
yeah.
I try to
Get down with your bad self, Shep.
I need to be like 10. Maybe I need to go to the garage.
Well, I put my email in there. If you have a sample of a notice
Yeah.
and an affidavit, even, I would do that. I just have no clue how to write one up and sound intelligent.
You don't want to sound intelligent because you want them to be able to read it. I wasn't meaning to be a smartass about it. I'm just trying to be real.
Right.
Everything I write at a 6th grade level.
Send one to me as well. Here's my email that. I want that one to go to.
Shep, from the way it sounds, because I keep saying we need to take a pink slip up there and you're fired.
Well,
And
I've
so-
asked, Jamie Herrera Butler to do that, and I've sent my letters to the senators, and one of our senators, she's resigned, and she's going to go work for something in one of the cities here. And well, okay, so she's a lame duck. She's not going to do anything. She's a Democrat anyway.
Right.
None of them respond, So, yeah,
You need a bigger pen.
a lot more ink. You know, after the election and the audit and all that malarkey going on, I asked for the state to do that as well. And I got back, yeah, well, this is how much it costs. You're gonna have to pay for it. There you go. That's their response.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
We had a lot arrested. I know there were over 200 people arrested in Texas after that for tampering.
Oh, that one lady I remember, she was in Texas. But then I always think that it's
Whoops. Where'd you go, Chef? It's a link again.
Shep ran away.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Yep, there she is. She found
I
the
don't know
link.
what I did. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I just came
Well,
back to say goodbye, I guess, because I can't talk real loud and I have a loud voice. I'll just mute
I
myself and
understand.
listen.
Wow. I can't post that last one. That's 600 letters.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's why I was asking everybody, what do you do for Christmas? Just because, I mean, I hear what you're doing, D-Dog. That's awesome. But take a break and enjoy it too.
What do you guys eat for Christmas?
Food.
Well, really? You eat food? Wow. You don't
Well,
switch it up?
I'm actually going to cook, and I ain't telling no one what I'm making.
Uh-oh. I hope you're eating
Well,
alone.
this year,
No, it'll probably be bear.
Oh my goodness. I've never had that.
Yep.
yeah.
Bear, maybe some white shark.
Oh, wow.
Is the white shark
We,
smoked or what? How does that?
Well, whenever I put it in the paper, I can't keep it lit, so we don't smoke it.
What are you talking? What? Oh, you're such a comedian. It's too late. I can't keep up. I'm old and I'm tired.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have used my serious voice, right?
I know. I can't tell. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, D-Dog.
Well, okay.
There you go. That's right. You're my kind of guy,
Me
that right
too.
there.
Yep.
We are doing enchiladas for Christmas. We're switching it up.
I have no idea what we're doing. Yeah. Like D-Dog said, it's food. Whatever.
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I took my mom to a really nice restaurant one Christmas. It's the Brown Derby, which is in the what is that place? The MGM Casino in Detroit.
Ooh, nice.
And Terrence, my normal waiter, comes over and says, I'd like to ask you a question. I go, come on, man, my mom's here. And he says, you got to look over at the kitchen doors. There's 4 little faces in each of the windows. Because I have a little bit of a reputation there. And he goes, well, how was your meal, sir? And I go, it'll make a turd. And you could hear the kitchen just erupting, just, like giving each other high fives and stuff. 5-star restaurant, who does shit like that?
Right? That's great.
Yeah, I think it's like $85 a plate or whatever there, but it doesn't matter. Casino Points always took care of it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Goodness.
Yeah, I was at the highest level of my tier thing right at our local casino here. And then the mask mandate was lifted, and I was so happy. So I was getting my points backed up there. I was right up at the top again, and then the damn mask mandate came back. So I called him up, and I said, so are you guys going to be requiring that again now? Oh, yes, ma'am. I said, okay, well, I won't be back. Bye. So now, that was what? I don't know, August maybe? So now I'm already back down to 0 points. And they're not giving me any money. 0. No food, no money already. And I was getting good money. It pisses me off. Damn it.
Okay, at Affidavit Mama's site,
Okay, thank you.
there's a notice for a demand that they stop doing what they're doing, and you can always put the casino on that. It's on the top row on the far right, because it sounds like one or both use on the website right now. And that's on notices. What about on printable free documents? Parental rights. That's demand of desistance order. Do you have a decent sheriff, Shep? Oh, Shep ran away?
Yep. I don't know what she keeps doing.
Yeah, I don't know. People these days. Well, she's out in Washington. Don't expect too much.
Right.
So where are you at, Bonnie?
SCA.
What was that?
606. Central Texas.
Lucky you.
Central Texas.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Hi, Shep. How you been? Haven't seen you in a while.
it's pretty good here.
I don't know why, but I had to leave the studio in order to send myself.
Till you start getting closer to
website for
Austin,
whatever
then it's not
reason.
so great.
Can't
But
figure it out.
Yep.
for all those.
Shep, on that page for that URL I put in private chat,
Yeah.
the notice you want is down one row and to the far right.
Okay, for the
It's
casino?
notice of deceased, and it says something about, here, let me go back to that. That's on
They
the
don't
notice.
they don't have to abide by the Washington Constitution though, do they? They're an Indian casino. And that's why I thought they wouldn't have to, um, that's why I thought, well, maybe they won't go along with the mandate, but they did.
Yep. Well, just like the Indian casinos, in Michigan are bigger pain in the ass than going to the big casinos in Detroit.
Hmm. Well, okay, so the notice is second row down,
First row, far right.
first row far right. Okay, thank you.
That one will even help you with restaurants.
Oh, that would be good too.
Hmm. And you can also inform them public accommodation, Title II Civil Rights Act from 1964.
Mm-hmm.
So they're by making you wear a diaper or having a jab to walk into their place, they're violating your rights.
Did
And
you
if you're
Hey,
happen to
Doc, did
see
you see
that
Lisa?
video from Applebee's, and was that in New York City? They arrested a bunch of people for not having their papers. It reminded me of Germany.
Wow.
okay, JW had a show earlier this evening and said that Americans and German tanks, yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah. If American and German tanks were rolling down the road, there'd be plenty of footage on every web streamer.
Is she talking about over there in Ukraine?
But it doesn't matter if there's tanks running around on the roads anywhere. It's going to be on every web service.
Yeah.
It'd be all over YouTube and BitChute and all the other ones.
It's snowing. Big deal here. No Antifa tonight. Yay!
Hi, Tim. Good to see you.
Yeah, well, if Antifa gets too cold, they'd always start Starbucks or something on fire.
Or the police department, federal building. Why not?
Yeah, well, not the
A
federal
big
building. That's my
bonfire.
money.
They tried to burn down the, what's it called? A bronze. It's a bronze statue. They burned down the frame that it was sitting on. It was the elk, the beautiful elk that was given to Portland, I don't know, 1900 or something. Stupid ass people.
If you want to really be shocked, do a little bit of research and find every statue that's been taken down over the last 2 years from Antifa or BLM. Okay, 70% plus were the ones fighting for
Right.
freedom of slavery and
Right.
civil rights for blacks.
Exactly.
It
70%. I
just
knew it'd
kills
be
me.
high, but shit.
And if you look at all the statues Congress wants to get rid of,
Yeah.
every single one's a Democrat.
Huh. But the statues they want to get rid of, are they the Confederate statues? Is that their deal, or is the
No,
name of
it's
the
well,
because
they want to get
employ-
rid of Abraham Lincoln because he didn't dislike slavery enough. John Quincy Adams, who his entire career tried to abolish slavery.
Mhm.
And there's-
I swear.
It-
This is-
they even tore down statues of Indians.
Mhm. I know they were trying to change the
Yeah.
name of some of the schools in San Francisco, because and take down murals
Hmm.
of, I think it was Lincoln, maybe, or Washington. It was crazy.
Well, the John Wayne Airport's not John Wayne Airport anymore
Why? Why?
because what was that? L.A. They
he
decided to
did-
rename it.
Because he did cowboy and Indian movies. Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god! Crazy nuts.
Pretty
John Wayne
sure.
It's
International. I guess that
ridiculous.
was L.A.
The one that
Oh.
needs to go down is a beast.
They need to change the name of the Dulles Airport.
I just cannot
Get rid of
believe.
that name. Creep. Nazi.
Yep. Like
The what airport?
Dulles and DC.
so what state is the Hoosier state?
Oh,
Hoosier.
Isn't that like
No.
Indiana?
Could be. Wisconsin?
Well, they're trying to change that name because it's racist. But if they'd actually do some research, he was actually a preacher and he was a black man. But hey, it's cool. Go ahead, change whatever you want. I don't care.
You know the Redskins? Now,
Yeah.
I heard they changed the name of it because it was racist against Native Americans.
excuse me.
But I always thought that the Redskins was a war paint
Hmm.
put on to go to battle by the Native Americans, but it wasn't their skin, it was war paint,
Right,
which is a completely different thing,
right.
which would make sense for a football team.
Yeah, but remember, we're all rednecks and crackers.
Yeah.
And those words actually originated in the United Kingdom back in the 1300s, and that was a reference to their white slaves.
Redneck meaning sweat?
Well, working in the fields, always bent over.
Yeah.
Your neck gets sunburned.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I don't know why they called the slaves crackers, but they did.
That would have been, is that a German cracker? Is that German slang
No,
for
that-
like
that
for
was-
me, Italian, the dago, that was the slang that you better not call someone a dago unless you are one.
Okay, I got a little funny story for you. Back when I was building houses, I got pretty tight with this one Italian, and he had to drive everywhere in his Ferrari to prove that he's more important and better than anyone else. And I asked him if he should put Dunlop tires on his Ferrari, and he goes, "Why?" I go, "Those are Italian tires." He's like, "Oh, maybe I should get some." I said, "Just remember, when they go flat, they go wop wop wop." And he didn't like that.
That's a good one. Did
You
he
know,
get
we've
ya?
done
Did he
that.
shoot
though.
ya?
That's the way
That's a
it's
good one.
always been with what was it? wasn't Polish people. It was uh, the ones with the big noses. I don't know. But there has been jokes about everybody,
Of
Yeah,
course.
no
like,
matter
Used to be
no matter
okay.
what. Yes.
yeah, what do you call a pissed off German?
I don't know. I'm one of those
Sauerkraut.
too. Good one.
Yeah. And look at all the blonde jokes. And
Mhm.
didn't see them ranting and raving and getting all offended.
That's because they were
It's-
blonde.
Yeah. How does a
Well, I
blonde
made
stop her
her
ankles from sweating? She pulls her panties up.
Oh God.
What do you call a
Gross.
dozen blondes in a walk-in cooler? Frosted Flakes.
Oh.
You know why blonde
Goodness.
jokes are so short? So the brunettes can remember them.
Oh. Choo 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 boom.
Well, I had to make it so it wasn't all one-sided.
Right. Well, back in the day, every Thanksgiving, it was the Cowboys versus the Redskins. That was the game. You
Hmm.
just Thanksgiving Day, you sat there and you watched it, or we did. And I don't even know what they're called now.
Aren't they just Washingtons? Washington?
I don't know.
The Washingtons, or what are they?
I don't know.
They also changed some other names. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are now. Because they were racist. You know the ists or isms? That's all from the Democrats or
Mm-hmm.
the lefties. All the isms of the world.
Yep, they went from isms to ists.
Yeah.
Yep, because everything's racist.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had
Pink mill's racist to chocolate
feminism,
milk.
racism, socialism, communism.
Yep, communism is not a political party. Communism is a religion.
Really?
Marxism.
Marxism is communism.
Yeah. I read that it was actually created by a man that, I don't know if he was American, but he lived in New York. It was created in New York City. The whole communism concept.
Well, the communism goes back to 1848, and it was designed by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels.
Engels. Wonder if it was him in New
And
York.
guess whose parents are real big into that? Camel.
Camel what?
Toes.
Oh, I just had to make you say that, Bonnie. That was great. Thank you.
I'm 2
Such a
hours
brat.
earlier than you, and I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I know what that is, and I know who it is, but I don't know what that has to do with communism.
I don't know who
Exactly.
Camel Toe is, but Headboard Harris doesn't belong as our vice president.
That's for sure.
And under Article 3, she's not even eligible, but who cares about the Constitution? It doesn't mean nothing.
I was just flabbergasted when it came out. Or no, because it's been out for so long, but I was asleep. I was flabbergasted when it came out that Barry was not a U.S. citizen
Right.
and that
Well,
his
and
birth certificate was a fake because my daughter was born in Hawaii, so I know what that looks like. And I was, oh yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay. The year Barry was born is the year that it was the year before they changed to the new form.
Oh, well, my daughter
So
was born in 97, which would be a new form.
right, but
Mhm.
his was on the new form a year before the new form came out.
Okay, got it. So,
And 7 different news agencies overseas were broadcasting it everywhere for America to wake up. And this is Barry's true birth certificate.
yeah. Well, my mom, she knew it, and I didn't
and
realize it or know it until after she was gone. So I
Yep.
always am flabbergasted. Go, darn it! I wish my mom was right all along.
Yep. Barry and his wife, Big Mike.
Yeah. God. Unbelievable.
Isn't that kind of ironic that Joan Rivers had a what do you call it, a visit to the doctor to find out she was in perfect health a
Yep.
couple of weeks before she told a reporter that
I saw that clip.
Brock is a switch hitter, and then a month later she's dead.
I saw the clip where she turns on the steps and says, she's a trans,
Right.
And we all know it, something
Right.
like that. And it was like a month after.
Well, she's built like a linebacker.
I know, I didn't put it together. I just am so naive. I didn't have my gay art dart on at all.
I didn't either.
Not even for him. And you know what? I went back recently, like last week, and I went and re-looked at the 2 really old, before he was a senator. He did a keynote speaker thing. I think it could have been the Democratic National Convention. I'm not sure. But now when I look at it, I'm like, well, yeah, he's gay. I mean, really, I'm not trying to be gayest or whatever, but sometimes you can tell. And at the time I couldn't tell, but now when I look back, what was I thinking? No, I don't think that that's bad, but I certainly didn't think that he was married to a woman if I were to look today at the same person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I
Now,
would think
if
he was more like Pete.
if you go all the way back in history, everyone that's in the public eye, when their wife gets pregnant, there's baby pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
Of the fat mama. There's
Mhm.
not one of Big Mike.
None. In fact, there's a story out there that she couldn't have children.
He.
Right. She.
He.
Oh, and I love her book, Becoming Michelle.
And
That's a. Go ahead, Bonnie. I'm sorry.
I lost it. It was something about, isn't he related in some way to Hitler?
I have heard that he is, that
Barack.
his mother is Hitler's granddaughter. I think something like that. Though I don't know who his real mother really is. So, I've heard
Right. None of us.
different things, like, the one that we've seen pictures of, I've heard is not his real mother. But if she's not, then that
Right.
means he's not related to Hitler. But, and then, so I don't know. And then if and I've also heard his real mother is Indonesian, which makes sense. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it really does matter anymore. Other than to know
Well,
that he was farm raised and he's the whole life that we were told is a complete fairy tale.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's so weird that for 8 years, all of this was questioned. I remember hearing the questions, and that was before I was really paying attention. I mean, I knew from the get go I didn't want him as president, but
I loved him.
they just really,
Yes,
wow.
I was bamboozled, hook, line, and sinker.
But I just couldn't believe that they never dug into it or disproved any of the accusations or anything. Well, it's the same thing happening now. Your
Oh,
son
yeah.
can sit on a camera smoking crack, and so what?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I don't think that the mainstream media has ever portrayed that as being an issue for the first family at all. I mean, he's the smartest guy Biden's ever known, right? And he's an artist. And he's over that old addiction. Sure he is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those people. I don't think any of them are really alive anyway, so who knows? Who knows anymore? I mean, if you're old enough, you know that that's not Biden. I don't care how many surgeries a person has or plastic surgeries. There's no way that that's Biden.
Yeah.
Somebody said, oh, well, you had 9 plastic surgeries. Well, okay. Does that change your height and your shoulder size and just the way you stand? No.
Yeah.
And then sometimes his skin
Yeah,
is
there
nice
was
and smooth
one-
and looks plasticky. And then other times he looks like, I don't know, like pasty.
Yeah. There was one clip that was him getting into Air Force One, I guess. And when he was walking to it, I was like, his jacket, like he had got some major ass muscles somewhere.
Really? I missed that one.
How did this happen? It's been a while back, and
I still look back at the one where he's running or he's climbing the stairs and he trips and falls 3 times and none of the Secret Service come running to his aid, even though it could be a bullet flying through the air and hitting our president, the greatest leader of the free world. And they just stand there and let him trip and fall.
and
I thought he was the most popular
and
with
you show
81
me
million
any
votes.
80-year-old man
Exactly. No one. Come on,
there's
people.
no way he could get up that quick. No way.
No way. I wonder who it was though that day. I wonder who that was. Oh, do you hear my cat? Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
I don't know. It
Missed it
sort of looked
some.
like a John Kerry or Jim Carrey move. Could have been like a Steve Martin move. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So are you falling for that stuff, Chef?
Well, in that one instance, I don't think it was. It was the actor portraying whoever was portraying him at that time. Because I really don't think it's
Yes, Victor.
Biden. I really don't. I really don't. If
Victor
you've
saw
ever
it.
looked at him over the years, you know that's not him. And so
I'll
I
see if
guess
I
if
can-
that means I'm falling for that, yeah.
I'll see if I can find a video that a retired FBI guy took pictures, older pictures of prominent people and celebrities against pictures of them, recent pictures, and they're not the same people.
That's right.
Wow.
You're right. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's about an hour-long thing, and he goes through 45 different people.
So why would they be doing it?
Will Smith's
What
a
would
good
be the
example of
purpose?
that. I don't know what they're doing. Why, like Don Lemon too. They look different.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the guy, Kushner, the guy that was married to Ivanka? I think they're divorced, but that guy, he looks different, really different.
Like his face is all sunken in now?
Yeah,
Is
just a
that the one?
different person.
What we need to do is find a good farmer and back him to be our next president.
Yep.
Yep. Less
Are
than
there any
$200.
that are not corrupt?
What, farmers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's plenty. Like the ones that refuse to take that supplement money and grow crops anyway.
Yeah.
I can think of some good ranchers that are dealing with the invasion crap.
Oh my
They would
goodness, I cannot imagine.
love to get.
Who
I
owns
can't
the
either.
biggest ranch down there? D-Dog, I bet you'll know. There's a ranch
The
down
King
in
Ranch.
Texas, 1,000,000+ acres.
That's the King Ranch.
King
Yeah.
Ranch.
Yeah, don't they rent like 30,000 acres from Texas? Right along the border?
I think so. Rings a bell.
I don't know. I know
What do you
drove
think's
by
really
there.
going on at the border, D-Dog?
It's horrible.
Bad management.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy. There's bad everywhere. So some of your border patrol are not good people. They really are being shot at
Hmm.
across the river.
Wouldn't
They
that
really are
constitute?
piling up under the Del Rio Bridge.
Oh my goodness.
Constitute what? If they're on the
Wouldn't
Mexico
them
side,
shooting over the
Mexico
river
should be
constitute
stopping it.
a war of action of war?
No,
No, they have to be on this side.
no. Mexico would have to basically declare war for the people to cause a war.
Hmm. Very interesting.
But this is something that Bonnie's governor could do. I'll put it in private chat for you.
Awesome. Because I know he's been doing a lot and trying to fight them, and
I've
now
heard
they're
mixed
trying.
reviews about Governor Abbott.
I know I've heard all that too, but I'm sorry. I keep seeing him, our Attorney General, Paxton, filing lawsuits and over, and we don't have. Abbott made it no mandates, no employers can require employees to do any of it. He's just stopped all of that. He is so pissed off about the border, he just can't even see straight. But you don't understand. It's like he made a, what are they called? Lone Star something. Well, I did not realize that the Texas Rangers are now the DPS officers, which is the Department of Public Safety. But he sent them down there, National Guard, got the Border Patrol, but so they're figuring out other ways. So the big spot right now is the Big Bend area.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever been there, it's like it's just really desolate out there. But the drugs, oh my gosh, the drugs that they have confiscated. So you can only imagine how much has gotten through.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get caught. I mean, it's horrible. You can, one of the towns right there on the border, you can hear the houses on the other side of the river, music blaring. I just don't even want to talk about it. It's just horrible. It is absolutely, the whole thing is just horrible. And my father, my own father, is so clueless. And he says, honey, we need those workers. And I said, Daddy, they're not coming here to work. He just.
Actually, we don't need them for workers. What we need is for the government to stop handing out free money and make people get off their asses.
Yes. But he thinks they're coming to work in the valley like in the old days. Or, I mean, a lot of my neighbors, they're the hardest workers I've seen. And sweet as can be. I have to talk to them through their kids. I don't know Spanish. They don't know English, but and if they're here to live a productive life, I'm okay with that. It's the ones who are, we have so many gangs coming in. We have people from how many countries? It's like 26 countries coming through here.
I'm okay with them coming in if they were coming in legally, according to whatever the law is. And
right.
That doesn't
and
happen.
Those are
the people that want to come in legally, they're not able to.
And so the ones who have spent all that money and done it legally are mad too, because
I would be too.
Yeah, because of what they went through. And now Everybody's just walking on over. That's what
And
I
think
keep
about
telling
the people
Gigi.
that
Just get to
have
Mexico and you
family.
got it made. Just walk in.
Yeah, I mean, and think about the people that have family in other countries that have been waiting and waiting and waiting for them to be able to come over. And they're still waiting. Some
Yes.
for 10, 20 years, 30 years. Still haven't come over. Uh,
Well, I'm still waiting
Yeah.
for one sheriff on Texas's border that'll stand up and do his job.
yeah, that would be, huh,
But I'll keep writing
Texas.
to him
Yeah.
because you know who's supposed to be in charge of everything happening around the border as far as coordinating all the different agencies and everything. It's the sheriff. He's in charge of his county. It doesn't matter who comes in. The president could come in and the sheriff can tell the president, hey, you can't go there.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's how ass backwards.
Well, I believe that because mine told
We
me.
don't, I didn't know that. That's how, I mean, that's backwards.
Yeah, everyone thinks the federal government has authority. They don't have nothing.
Right, exactly. When I think about it, and just the little bit I've been learning about the Constitution recently, yeah, that makes sense. They're not supposed to have any power.
If you look at all 51 preambles for each of the constitutions, you know, the 50 states and the federal one,
Mhm,
all of them in one way, shape, or form thanks God.
mhm,
So God has the most political authority. And
mhm.
every single constitution for the states, it says in there that all political power is inherent in the people. So the people are second in charge.
Mhm.
And because of the Magna Carta, 9 different locations that actually lays out the beginning roots of what the sheriff's job is, the sheriff is the buffer between the people and the government.
Mhm.
So the government doesn't have nothing. And the closer the elected official is to the people, the more authority they have. Like a township hall has more authority than the people in the cities. You know, like your mayor and everyone else. Your township supervisor has more authority than your mayor.
Mhm.
And your mayor has more authority than your county supervisor. And your county supervisor has more authority than your governor, and the governor has more authority than the president. But nobody reads the constitutions anymore.
Mhm.
What is the town supervisor and what is the county supervisor?
The township supervisor, unless you live downtown in a city, you know, the outskirts of the cities, there's different townships.
Like, is it like where I live? I live in a town called Hawkinson, but it's unincorporated. So my mailing address is not that. It's, I guess, where the closest post office is to, Brush Prairie is a completely different name. But the physical part of where I live is an unincorporated town called Hawkinson. And so if I need the police or something, I call the sheriff. I don't call the Brush Prairie Police, even though that's my address.
Well,
what I
I'd
mean?
never called the police anyway.
Well, if you live in the city limits, well, at least when it happened to me in California once, you had to call the police, not the sheriff. My mom's house just happened to be
Yes.
across the street from the incorporated area of her town, but she lived in the unincorporated area. So she had to call the sheriff, but the person across the street had to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
And the police would not come to my mother's, and the sheriff would not go to their house. Make sense?
No, because the sheriff he's the supreme law of his county.
So he can go to anybody's house in the county.
He
Yeah,
can
he
go
can,
into
yeah.
the city and give a ticket or do whatever.
yeah,
I
he can
see.
go into the city and grab the police chief by the throat and drag his ass off to jail for violating someone's constitutional rights.
Mm,
And he can write his own warrants.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't think there's going to be a fair shake in court, he can have the sheriff's court. He has his own court.
mm.
Oh, wow.
Do the sheriffs know this?
They're learning it because there's this asshole that knows too much. And I know how to write paper, and I have plenty of pens.
Well, mine said that no 3-letter agency can come to our doors if they do calling. Not in his county, period.
Well, unless they check in with him and get his approval.
Right. Which won't happen.
And if they come onto your property, you call your sheriff, he comes out and arrests them on his warrant that he writes himself, because the sheriff doesn't need a judge for a violation of constitutional or civil rights. He can write his own warrants, and it'll say trespassing in his county. It won't even have your address on it.
So is a marshal then the person that goes over state lines, or
A federal marshal?
is there a state marshal?
No. Well, some of them have marshals.
What is their function compared to a sheriff?
Well, there's one state that doesn't have a sheriff, but it's like a marshal, and his job is basically the same as what a sheriff is.
Oh, okay. That's
And
what I
then you
thought.
have your federal marshals, whose job is to protect informants and prisoners, and they transport people from one
Right.
prison to another, or from court to prison, or prison to court, or whatever.
Oh,
That's all
right.
their job really is.
Right. I always think of Tommy Lee Jones.
Right, but a
Right.
federal marshal, he's nothing.
Yeah,
That's-
he's just like a deputy. Like,
No, he's not even that.
Only thing I've ever heard of Marshall is the U.S. Marshal.
Right,
they're a transporter,
basically.
and they got to make sure that they get their person from one place to another, or
Well,
protect
the
them.
marshal service is under the executive branch.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the executive branch, let's go as close as we can to the people, which would be like a township supervisor or whatever. Well, let's just go to the city mayor. Okay, the city mayor has more authority than the township or the county supervisors, who have more authority than the governor, who has more authority than the president, who has more authority than the federal marshal. So the federal marshal can't do anything that the president can do. If the president can't do it, the federal marshal can't.
Mm.
Because the farther away from the people, the less authority they have.
Very
Cool.
interesting.
And the Supreme Court, everyone thinks that's important, and they come up with rulings and verdicts and all this other garbage. Supreme
Aren't they
Court
just
has never ever done any of
recommendations?
that. They only give opinion.
Right, a recommendation, or right.
They write up an
Opinion.
opinion. And if you don't like what the Supreme Court does, in every state there's a superior court. And the superior court can overthrow whatever the Supreme Court says.
Hmm.
Really?
So right
Period.
now they're looking at Roe versus what was it? Roe versus what's the second name? Ray. Anyway, the abortion. So if it's overturned, if abortions are no longer, well, it's an opinion. Okay, so then what happens? Then each state would say yay or nay to that opinion?
Well, I'm waiting to see what they end up doing with Roe versus Wade, because we're going to be dropping some heavy stuff on the Supreme Court where they're going to have to reopen that case
Mm-hmm.
because there was an American that wasn't represented there.
Hmm.
You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Peanut.
Who?
Peanut.
Peanut.
You ever seen ultrasound? Little baby looks like a peanut.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
You're cryptic.
So
on
that
me
they
again.
legalized assassination and murder
Yeah.
with their verdict because
Mhm.
of the way that we are. Who is it? Aristotle back, what's that, like 500 BC?
Mhm.
Defined life as being active.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Well, a sperm is active.
yeah, but that life form is pre-existing, just like the egg's life form is pre-existing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come together, both those two DNAs are destroyed, and a new DNA that's
Mhm.
never ever been on this planet or ever will be on this planet again is formed. But as soon as it divides the first time, there you go. It's active.
Mm-hmm.
So it is life.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. And
And we have enough documentation
And I
from
don't know how you. I mean, it's so simple.
science and everything else that it's going to piss off all these baby murderers.
Yeah.
well, that's another thing that they're coming down on Abbott about because that has stopped after 6 weeks. So
Right.
they're all complaining that all these women are having to go out of state. Well, there's a way to stop that. And Lubbock, Texas has become a sanctuary city. It is not allowed at all there.
You mean abortion's not allowed there?
Yes,
Oh.
not at all at any time.
You know, this really hits close to home because my mother was raped and she really wanted to have an abortion, but she couldn't. It was in 1953 or 52 when she wanted to have the abortion and she couldn't. So she ended up having a baby who she hated and never had a relationship with, and adopted the baby out to the pediatrician that was at the hospital, I guess.
Yeah.
But this was all secret, and my mother never spoke of it. And then when I was 55, I received a letter, and she received a letter, and it all came out. And turns out I have a half sister, and my mother never met her. She never wanted to know her or anything, because she lived with that trauma her whole life. It was never resolved for her. But if she had had an abortion, I would not have a half sister. That is so much like my mom. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So much alike. And I only met Michelle like 2 years ago. So it was after my mom passed away.
Yeah.
So before, I would say, yes, it's a woman's choice. But when I now look at it, it's not her body that we're talking about here. It's another body. And here's another argument for someone that thinks that it's okay. Why is it okay to kill a baby in the womb by the mother's choice, but it's not okay to kill the baby in the mother by force, like Scott Peterson? He's in San Quentin because he was
He killed
convicted of murdering his wife who was pregnant.
Yes.
And
And it's
then
a
the
double.
baby was found after the fact in the ocean, and they found the baby separately from the mother because it had come out. And
Yep.
so Scott Peterson was convicted of 2 murders.
Yep.
So it applies to him as a murderer, but everybody else, it's okay. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And the most heartbreaking, though, is to see the survivors of abortions. Have you ever seen them talk?
No, I can't say I have any. I have not. You mean a woman that has had abortion?
No. The baby that survived
Well,
from an attempted abortion.
oh, I've never even heard of that.
I hadn't either until I started seeing them talking, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was possible.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
You know, not getting the Jabadoodle, that's my body, my choice. But getting an abortion is not my body or my choice. And for some reason, well, I know the reasons. It's just I could go into it all the way, but that door is being slammed again, so I better not. Gotta calm my ass down.
I thought you can get a little feisty there, Shep.
that's funny. About 5 years ago, this girl showed up right before my stepfather's 80th birthday, I guess. And her father had just passed away. And she had just found out that her father wasn't her father, that my stepfather was her father. So she came to Texas and met her real father, and his 2 daughters are not happy at all. It's caused a little bit of it's caused a big O. I mean, imagine being 50 something years old and finding out you're not who you thought you were. It was a pretty big shock for everybody.
That would be a huge shock, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to
And
find out I had a sister, and then later to find out I had a brother before her.
oh, wow.
That I was raised as an only child.
Yeah.
So that's why you sound spoiled.
I am spoiled, yes, you're right. Very.
Sorry,
My
Shep,
birthday-
I just had to go there.
My birthday is the week after Christmas, so I'm very spoiled. Whatever I didn't get for Christmas, I would get for my birthday. And I counted on it, and I still do. No, I'm just kidding. But I did when I was a kid, yes.
And everything's going to be my way. Damn it.
You got that right. I was called bossy. You're
Or
so
else.
bossy. It's because you're an only child.
Well, I was the oldest, but my brother was definitely the golden child. he could do no wrong. Well, now the truth comes out because what can happen, you know? And my mother just sits there looking at us like, what? Because I got all the punishment for things he did.
I did no wrong.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the way my,
Isn't that the same as saying you never got caught?
yeah.
I never did wrong until
Well, I
there
did.
was a time. And then you're right after that.
I'll admit it. I was bad.
Well, like my baby sister, she's a whole year younger than me. And when Dad was alive, she was his favorite. And then after he passed, became Mom's favorite. And then she had kids. And then my mom and my sister coddled those kids, my two nephews that are totally worthless.
Oh, no.
And all
That's
of
because they were
them,
coddled.
right. Well, they're male bitches, but I won't say that out loud. Well, actually, I can. I've told them that they're bitches.
Too late.
And my little girls that are 15 and 16 now have held down jobs since they were 14.
Wow.
And if there's something they really want, being the good dad that I am, I'll do dollar for dollar and I'll match them. But you got to go make it.
Yeah.
But these other kids,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
they're worthless. Well, they're millennials too. And do you know why they call them millennials? It takes 1,000 years to get them to move out of your house.
That's about right.
And my little girls are looking at getting an apartment at 15 and 16.
My son's what was he, history or government teacher, would say to him, "You're the biggest bunch of slackers I've ever had." I'm like, this man was the teacher at the school for like 35 years, and the school only had 600 kids. So,
right.
But by the time my son was a senior, that's when it was starting. Or no, he was at the tail end of the millennials. He's 32 now, so it's just, a bunch of slackers.
Yeah.
Well, my nephews are 22 and 25.
So they're a little bit younger. They're in between. My daughter's 24. I think that's X generation.
Yeah. Well, I know my little ones are Z generation.
How old are they?
14 or 15 and 16.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So Gina must be.
And I'll tell you what, if I walk into any school, even a liberal school, and I start talking about the Constitution, I will have 50 or 100 kids within 10 minutes sitting down in the hallway listening.
Huh. Really?
Yep. And if I talk to a millennial about it, they're all upset that, I'm telling them the truth and they'd rather believe what they were taught.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, millennials are bitches.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate them. The 30 to 40-year-olds just.
Yeah, I've got two in that age range.
But then my
I
daughter
even told
and
my
her boyfriend,
sister that the night that my two nephews were conceived, she should have swallowed.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I hope they never hear you say that.
Oh, they've heard me.
My two youngest are 26, and they are
And then, see,
completely
my daughter
different.
and her boyfriend are both 24. They're born a week apart from each other. And their attitude is there's nothing we really can do about it. So, I mean, it's okay. I mean, that we have to wear a mask. It doesn't bother us all that much. It's like everything's okay. It's nothing bothers them. I
Oh,
don't get
everything
it.
bothers my girls.
However, I am very proud of my daughter because she decided that she's not going to get the Japadoodle, and she had to change her classes around so they're all online because they were requiring it at a certain date. And she said, "Now this is my body, my choice." She goes, it doesn't feel right that they're telling me I have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank God. Someone thought about it. She thought about it. Hey.
My granddaughter had to go to the doctor yesterday, and come to find out she needed some shots. And so the doctor handed my daughter a list of the shots that they were going to give her. And she's 3. And one of them was the flu shot. And she said, not that one. And he was like, why not? And she said, because I don't want her to have it. And he said, I'm putting on here refused. And she said, okay. But
Oh,
I've heard so many stories of them um, saying that they're giving the flu shot, and it's not.
I was just going to say, she better look at those bottles
Yeah.
of anything they are giving her. Make sure they're giving her the right one.
Yep.
I regret giving my daughter as many vaccines as I did.
Well, that's
She's
what I told her.
sensitive. She's a very sensitive person.
Hey, Shep, are you on a computer or your phone?
No, my iPad.
Well, what I just put in private chat, send that to your kid, and that'll basically tell your kid that they can't do anything without your consent.
Okay. Wait a minute. There's a link, and then there's also.
Well, the link, and then this actually has a description on it.
Okay.
Yeah, for the end of the code.
I'm going to take a picture of that too, because these are the last shots she's going to get. Because we've already decided she's going to be homeschooled. We're not going to.
And that's for your religious exemption that they can't mess with you. I'm glad I never studied law. That way
There we
I
are.
learned the law.
And you don't have to have a preacher or something back that up,
No.
because a lot of, like my ex-husband who works for the government, National Park Service, so they're fighting, and he had to do a form for a religious exemption. But the argument is, and I've heard other YouTubers say it too, is that it has to be signed by a preacher, pastor, priest,
Well, you
whatever,
can get a certificate online for that. Have your friend do it.
right?
I swear.
That's
You
true.
know, I'm sort of with Riddle on this one. I don't want to have to do an exemption for anything. It's a ridiculous thing, mandate, whatever. It's not a law. It's ridiculous. It's
Well, yeah.
against our civil rights and our liberties and our freedoms, and it's a cold, and give me a break. Just like I saw, oh my God, what was it? What company is it? Damn it.
Good night, Lisa.
There's a company that's not going to,
Thanks for coming.
they're going to take away their benefits for the unvaxxed. But if you are, then you can have your health benefits. But if you're not, you get your health benefits taken away.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's crazy. It should be the other way around. Anyway, my dear, it's going on midnight, so it must be really late there.
It is. It's about 2 a.m.
Time for bed for me.
Even later for D-Dog.
Oh, I know. I don't know how he gets up in the morning and does it all over again.
I think he sleeps in that chair when he passes out.
Hope he has a clapper to turn off the lights.
Right.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he needs to
Okay,
come
well-
back because I'm going to shut it down.
I'm gonna see him in the morning. I'll see him. Well, yeah, probably. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
You
Good
take
night,
care.
everyone.
Thanks for coming up.
Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Good night.
Good night. Mess. Anybody else left in chat? Victor, you still there? T-Dog. I'm gonna close it down. So, what happened to the Christmas talk? Oh, be right back. Okay. There you are, Victor. You're still awake. You stay safe too, Lisa. I don't know if I should just shut it down with D-Dog not here. I may have to wait for him to come back. But if y'all are leaving, y'all have a good night. I'm sure I'll see you before Christmas if you're not too busy. Hopefully.
So Shep ran away.
Yeah. I think it's time for me to close it too.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up and all that information. That's some good stuff. I will be sending that to the governor for sure.
Yep. Do you want to see what a notice looks like? Well, maybe we'll just do it next time. You're yawning pretty good. So get yourself a little bit of sleep.
You too.
Yeah, right. I got to finish the notice I've been writing for a judge at 53rd District Court because I'm not going to wear one of those frickin' face diapers.
Oh.
That's what I was going to show you. Which is based off of what Dave Jose put together for the UAW so they don't have to do it.
That's good.
Yep. It's nothing but fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, Bonnie. Thanks for having me out.
Thank you for coming up. You have a good night.
You too. Bye, chat.
Good night, y'all. Victor, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed.